Don't be surprised that the 49ers use another valuable draft pick on a defensive lineman. They've hosted 5 of these guys on their top 30 visits. I'm going to run you through the possibilities based on this intel. The only top 30 visit so far that's been documented that we know about that's involved a first round graded prospect has been on a defensive lineman. It's on Marshawn Kneeland out of Western Michigan. This is a player that's expected to go later in the first round, maybe early in the second. It's going to be really interesting to see if the 49ers decide to pull the trigger on the defensive side of the football. No, a lot of people are saying no, that this can't possibly be the time because they did invest so much in that defensive line over free agency. I tend to agree. I think that the 49ers will lean offense because they have drafted by need in the past, but have to talk about Marshawn Kneeland because he has visited the 49ers, 6'3", about 270 pounds, has the size of the big end that the 49ers have coveted recently. But I would be cautious just because I don't think that the college production was that great for Marshawn Kneeland, and he was at a smaller school at Western Michigan. Players with more upside, I think, especially relative to their draft position, you could find them on the 49ers visit list a little bit later on. Brandon Dorlus, tackle out of Oregon. This is a guy who ran nearly 21 miles per hour on the GPS tracker. One of the fastest defensive tackle prospects that we've seen in quite some time. I think he could be an inside-out guy for the 49ers as well. And that's really what they look for, right? Somebody who could slide inside, take advantage of guards on those passing downs. Then there's a nose tackle prospect. It's a really, really big player. I'm talking true size. Evan Anderson out of Florida Atlantic. Evan Anderson was 360 pounds when he entered college. He has since slimmed down about 320 pounds, but still a fire hydrant type. And this is somebody that's projected to be an undrafted free agent. So if the 49ers are looking for a big-time run clogger in the middle of the formation, Evan Anderson may be a player that they take a look at. Mike Hall, now you're moving to smaller yet quicker defensive tackle talent. Mike Hall went to Ohio State. You should check out his tape against Michigan. I thought he was extremely quick off the ball against the Michigan Wolverines. I mean, this is a guy who he's not going to get beat with athleticism. He might get a little washed out because of size, but the way that the league is moving now, Aaron Donald is somebody who I think made this a trend based on how well he performed, just with how athletic he was, even though he was so much lighter than the standard defensive tackle. You really want that twitch up front, and I will say that Mike Hall out of Ohio State has that, and the 49ers could do worse than adding another player, another defensive lineman from Ohio State. Obviously, the one that's on their team right now has performed really well. We talk about quickness and athleticism and strength and just potential. The 49ers might get real value if they are able to draft a player that they brought in that has insane numbers, and that's Chris Braswell out of Alabama. Braswell's hit 21.9 miles per hour on the GPS, and he has squatted 705 pounds. Also had over 10 sacks last year, so production in the SEC. They're putting second or third round on Chris Braswell. Defensive end, about 251 pounds. Remember the 49ers drafted Robert Beal Jr. last year for his ability to get off the ball and move. Well, Chris Braswell, again, at 22 miles an hour and 705 pounds on the squat rack. I think Chris Kocurek would be really, really excited with that potential right there. Look out for that because the 49ers, 5 of these 30 visits at least have got a defensive lineman. I think they're definitely going to try to give Chris Kocurek some more material to work with.